Hi, Journal. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for whatever time it is for you. For me, it's 16:09 or 4:09 p.m., and it is January 16th, 2026. So, I have a few notes from my journal that I'm going to read, and I'm going back all the way to the beginning. So, I'm going to go in with number 17. I am a mirror that can trigger people to heal or to lash out. So, throughout my life, I've noticed that when you encounter new people, when people encounter new people, there might be bits and pieces of themselves reflected back at them. And it can cause triggers in people or it can cause people to heal. I'll give an example. Before, I've stated that you never know the impact that you might have on people, whether they tell you or not. And I've had people where they were kind of triggering to me at first, but I had to really do a lot of self reflection on why that person might be bothering me. And maybe it's because I don't vibe with that person. Who knows? I'm not for everybody. Everybody's not for me. But I knew that there were certain parts that had a lot more to do with me than it did with them. And in the example that I'm using, there was this person, this girl, who was a very bubbly person, very just herself. And in a way, it was too much for me at times to be around. And it's just like sometimes I just have a low battery and social situations can be a little bit too much and too overwhelming at times. But there were other times where it felt more like a personal thing where it felt wrong to me to be that free based on everything that I went through growing up when I was that free and it was shut down. But to see someone being themselves so authentically was kind of a trigger for me. And what I chose to do with that trigger was to heal it rather than to lash out at it. Because I've seen people lash out at me all the time when they see parts of themselves in me, or they see things in me that they don't want to confront within themselves, so they choose to take it out on me because they're too scared to process that or to deal with certain things. And people will move at their own timing. It is what it is. I'm not saying that it's right to lash out at people because it's really not, especially when it's something that you know is going on within yourself and you choose to take it out on other people. That is not a good thing. It's really not, because while you should be able to express all of your emotions because they're there for a reason, you need to do it in a healthy, you need to have a healthy outlet. You have to have a healthy outlet. You can't just be forcing people to bear the brunt of all of your pain and suffering for you because you don't want to heal that within yourself. You can't. You can't do that because hurt people hurt people. You're going to create a cycle with more people. But I noticed that when I encounter people, some people will choose to do and say certain things to me that I can tell comes from a place that has much more to do with them than it does with me. And I used to say that, you know, things happen for a reason. And I do, in some aspects, think that things happen for a reason, to cause growth, to cause change, to cause evolution, to basically build, what's the word? Hold on, let me pause. Okay, I'm back. So I used to say that everything happens for a reason. And now I kind of view it a little bit differently because it's just like things definitely can have a reason behind them if I give it a purpose. So if I choose to give a purpose to the things that I went through, to my pain and whatnot, what was meant to initially tear me down, I can repurpose that to something that benefits me, something that suits me. What used to hurt me can now strengthen me, or I'm able to handle these situations better. I've said it in my jealousy and envy video that people will throw stones at you, and those exact same stones that they used to throw at you can be used to reinforce your own castle walls, to be able to protect and defend against those exact same stones. Like the same things, once you actually learn to build tolerance to them, no longer have the same effect. They don't carry the same weight. And that's me choosing to give purpose to the things that I've went through, the things that were said to me, the things that were done to me, because I don't want to let that situation control me and have so much power over me, when really I'm the one living my life. I get to choose how things affect me, how things shape me. And that's not easy, of course. Wow. My phone there's so many notifications going off. Jesus. I have things that I want to talk about in my voice journal. I have something in there for this. And that is, I used to hate restarting over and over, setback after setback. There were so many times that I just wanted to stop growing because of how hard it was and what it meant I had to go through. Stepping into the light after being in the darkness for so long made me want more. After getting a taste of what things were like in the light, I realized that it didn't always have to be dark. I realized that I didn't have to let the same things that haunted me for so many days, months, years haunt me the same way they always did, because I can choose to find the light in those situations. And that will be going on to, where is it? My next point, and that is number 19. Things always work out even if it wasn't how I thought. Always a silver lining. This I like a lot more. Rather than everything happens for a reason, I do like there's always a silver lining if I choose to find one. If I choose to find the silver lining in a situation, that makes it all the more bearable to me, because even if something really bad happened to me, if I can find a way to repurpose that into something more, into something greater for me, I will choose that option. I will. And there was something else that I wrote in my things I want to talk about journal, and that was that we are a generation of curse breakers. And it's very evident. Like, the more that I see videos, because it's just like the internet. There's so many things I can say about the internet, for all the harm that it's done, but also for all the good that it's done. And when it comes to us being a generation of curse breakers, the fact that we have so many people that are able to lead by example because they just chose to no longer let the same cycles affect them and their bloodline. They were living in the darkness for so long that they said, enough is enough. I don't want to continue the same cycle that was done to me over and over again. I want to escape from it. I don't want to continue it. I don't want to remain stuck in this same curse that plagues the generations before me. And I think it's very interesting that in the age of the internet, there are so many of us out there who have been through some terrible terrible-ish, that want to change, that want to evolve, that want to somehow find a way out of this darkness that we were born into. But we don't want to let it consume us. We don't want to continue it. We don't want to perpetuate the same cycles that raised us. And the fact that we're able to see people who are not in our lives, maybe physically, maybe there are people that are around us that have done this, but the fact that we're actually able to see, because the internet connects us on a much complex scale than ever before, that we're able to see into the lives of so many other people. We only see what they show, yes, but the fact that we're able to see so many curse breakers really helps give strength to those who might not have thought it was possible to take what was given to them, work with what they have, and use it to get where they're going. Because you have to work with what you have to get to where you're going. You can't help the dish that was dealt to you, the hand that was dealt to you. Did I say dish? What dish is dealt to people? You can't help the hand that was dealt to you, but you can sure as hell choose how you play it. You can make something out of nothing. Hold on, let me pause. Right, so I did want to say this. Just because I'm able to repurpose the pain and trauma that I had to experience in my life does not make it right. It does not justify it. It does not suddenly make everything okay just because I was able to overcome these things and still am in the process of overcoming things. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't mean that it's justified just because I found a purpose for it and it benefits me now. This is why I don't really... It's so hard to agree with the saying everything happens for a reason, because it's just like free will. People choose to do things. People choose to say things. People, not even just people, but creatures, they have actions that they choose every day actively. And that influences a lot of people, a lot of things, a lot of situations. But how you choose to move in that situation is what you make of it, I guess. I think that's why I like the line, even though things may not work out how you thought, everything still has a silver lining. If you choose to find one. If you choose to not see the silver lining, then you're just not going to see it, I guess. Ultimately, I think the experiences that we experience in life all have meaning to them. Everything that happens in life is a building block in your life that can deteriorate or corrupt? No. That can weaken your foundations or strengthen them. When it comes to life, every single experience, everything that you've learned can be used in one way or not. And I'm not saying like everything that you've learned in school is going to be put to use, because when has anybody ever used every single thing that they've learned from school in the real world? However, what I am saying is like your experiences in life, they might not have a purpose behind them just yet where you are in life, but they might later down the line. It's up to you to be able to use it or find a use for it. And I'm not saying that you have to rush for that either. Everything on your own timing. on your own path. Don't look at what other people are doing and where they are at in life. Look at where you are in life and where you want to be, and use that as motivation rather than where other people are. You can look at people as maybe examples, but don't get too caught up in other people's maybe I'll do another one. I might do another one. Okay, time for take 2. Anyway, that's it for this one. I'm tired. I'm still doing my outro even though I don't think I'm posting this one. If you like the video, if the video resonated, you can leave a like, comment whenever you're ready, and follow if it feels right. Bye.